Hey guys, welcome back to Raid Shadow Legends. In today's video, I wanted to give you guys an outline of what I'm doing on this free-to-play account. We're 13 days through the account, and I want to go through what I am planning for the Demon Lord, because that's one of like the big achievements you want to do, and the free champion that I actually have not built on any of my other playthroughs, because I normally get it too late. Where that was in the previous two accounts, I was trying to rush Arbiter. I think we did a 30-day and a 27-day Arbiter. This account, I'm going to take it a tiny bit slower, aim for that 35 to 40 day Arbiter, but allow myself to build different teams that is more accessible to more players, and I want to go through that. So I'll also do just a general wrap up of day 13 of the account as well. But the character is going to be Morag, and if you don't know, to get Morag, you need to get Plarium Points. Now, you get them, you get a good chunk from just binding your account to a Plarium play, which if you play on PC, you basically instantly do that. You also have the code, which is PP500, kind of funny code if you ask me, but PP500 gives you 500 Plarium Points. You can see that on, no you can't because my fat head's in the way, you can see that I am at 1,107 at the moment. Now, another way to get some points, and we'll go through Morag in a sec, but I just want to cover this for those that are wondering, is your playtime. If you're on PC, you can get an extra 6 per day through 2 hours of playtime. Just leave it on and you're good to go. And then you get an extra 3 up here from that. And that's how you're going to get your points. Now, there is one other way, which is in the chases. You can see in this Lemon Easy chase, I just got 10 today, which is behind my head. And then there's another 20 over there that I will get. And sometimes there are also some of those Plarium Points in tournaments. But as I mentioned, over on my other accounts where I was pushing, by about day 16, which is like 5 days away, that is when I would be requiring, due to the Arbiter missions, to go ahead and make my 5th 6-star, which in that scenario, my 5th 6-star would have to be a Spirit Champion based on the way the Arbiter missions work, which means for those pushes, I'm getting Morag too late. But for an average player doing just a normal playthrough, Morag is going to be huge and much easier to incorporate into your general teams. So let's jump over and take a look at Morag herself and why I am going to be using her on this account. So if we go over here into Morag, she is a great free champion. She does require some skill ups to be really amazing, but you know, we've got a 3, a 2, and then all 1s over here. Ideally, you try and max out these 2 first, but you know, it's always the way, you see how you go. But basically, if we take a look at what she's got a team up with 2 random allies to attack a single enemy. The allies joining the attack will always use their default skill, grants an extra turn if the enemy is killed. This is great for Demon Lord, this is great for Fire Knight, this is just a great attack in general. Then we have this one here, attacks all enemies, places 25% strength and buff on all allies for 2 turns, based on defense. So she's defense scaling, which is really nice, getting damage whilst also getting tanky, and this goes down to a 3-turn cooldown for a 25% strengthen. That is really damn nice in Demon Lord, once again, for survival. And then we have a basic attack. It's a hit 2 times, will ignore shield buffs. Now, as a hit 2 times, once again, she's going to be great for Fire Knight as well. But the main reason I'm building her is going to be for the Demon Lord, because I want to get into Nightmare, Ultra Nightmare as quick as possible using free champions. She also has the great passive, counter attacks when hit while under the strengthen buff placed by this champion. So all these things combined, and you got to remember, with this extra, with the ally attacks, with the extra revenges that she'll be doing, and then you get your War Master procs on her from her War Master masteries, she's going to get a lot of extra damage out of that, but also bring allies around for some extra damage. And so what I want to do is I want to show you guys what my plan is on this account, because like I mentioned, I've done Arbiter Rush accounts before, but this one is more of an account that if anyone joins now and plays with plays with the Tholen Foulbeard starter code, you can use my download link and just go ahead and straight build yourself a pretty decent clan boss team. And that's what I'm trying to use this account to show. And so basically what that team would literally be just this. It is going to be the Deacon Armstrong, which is absolutely fantastic. He's got your gauge manipulation for extra boosting. If you want to use it, you can sometimes opt to turn it off so he doesn't lose his own buffs. But he's got the Death Shred, and he's also got the Leech, great for survivability and damage. We've got the Tagoar, who is basically your speed buff, your healer, your reviver. He's just a good support champion in general. We then have Lightsworn over here. Now, Lightsworn is great because he has attack break. You really need attack break in this fight, and Lightsworn is bringing your attack break. He also brings speed slow for other areas of the game. But the other thing that he has is a defense buff as well. And the defense buff is really nice because we are going to be bringing Morag. And so the defense buff, buffing up that Morag, allowing her to get a little bit more damage as well. But it's also mitigation for the team. So now we have a strengthen buff. We also have the defense buff, and then we also have attack break, but then we also have the additional attack break that is brought by Tholen Foulbeard, and so he is our damage. And you'll notice that we don't have an attack buffer because our main damage dealer is Tholen, and he has a self attack buff, so he is great, and that's why I love this team for synergy. And I think Morag slots really well into it. Now the one catch is that we are a rainbow team, being we've got a spirit, of force, and a magic. Well, we've actually got 2 spirits by the time we build Morag, which makes it awkward for some of the elements. But once again, for a starter team, I think it's a really solid base, and that is why I am definitely on this account going to be taking it at just a tiny bit slower, so that my 5th 6-star can be Morag, and I get her from the Plarium Points, so that I can form that team that I think is going to be a really reliable core for anyone starting the game. But for some reason, like I said, on my other accounts, I've never built Morag just because I felt like I was getting her too late in my push to go ahead and build her. But this account, she's definitely one that I'm going to build because I think she's just an absolute fantastic champion all around. So that is my plan. Once again, Morag is the one that is going to finish off my team. Now, in my download link, the last member we get is Mausoleum Mage. Now, I think this dude is just so clutch to have a full cleanser on your team. There's so many aspects, whether it be in tower, whether it be in dragons, things like that. Having a full cleanse is just really clutch along the way, but his kit doesn't really lend himself to being a strong character over in the Demon Lord. So he is the one that we need to replace. The rest of the characters on this team, well, Tagoar and Deacon are just chosen because they're just fantastic all-round characters for everything, but they also happen to be strong in Demon Lord. But the final character over here, which was the Lightsworn, we specifically chose for this purpose to go into this download link because he brought the attack break. He also brings the defense buff. Once again, that synergizes with the Morag, but also because we used to have Fayne when we did other download links, but Fayne's weaken would interrupt the additional attacks that Tholen could grant from this. So that is the team. If you are playing with this download link, going with this strategy, that is what I am looking at doing, so you might want to do it. If you haven't exchanged that PP500 code, I highly recommend doing that, but that is the plan, and that's why Morag is going to be the next one that I look to build on this account. As for the day 13 update, if we go to daily logins, we're into the day 14 of the logins, but we're 13 days played. Unfortunately, the biggest upset is we haven't managed to get ourselves any souls that we need. So none of my main characters are sold up. Now, obviously, we have Lemonisi. I'm not going to be using Lemonisi. The whole idea behind this playthrough is to use Tholen and then a download link and be able to get through the game with just that. So Lemonisi's kind of like, you know, if people start in the future when she's gone, they're not going to get her. So that's why I am not using her. She still would be one that I would probably build up if I was looking to use her as well. But you can see we just made our Deacon Armstrong 6-star. That was for the Arbiter mission. We had the mission to go ahead and get ourselves the 3rd 6-star champion. So we did the Deacon Armstrong. Luckily, during yesterday's login, we got the extra 500 energy, allowed us to do that. You can see over here in the Arbiter missions, we're almost into the final phase. We've got to defeat 100 champions in the classic arena. The current day we are on is magic, so I just completed the magic mission. But we need to get all those enemies defeated in the arena in the next day or so that we can go ahead and get the spirit one done. Then we can move on, and then we need to build another 6-star champion. And, you know, if tomorrow I got to do the spirit keep and then the day after I need to do the force keep, you might be saying, how the hell are you going to get another 6-star champion in that short amount of time? Where the hell is it? This one, another rank 6. My strategy is what I'm going to try and do is I'm going to try and push the Nightmare campaign. You can see I'm here. I've been progressing through it. If at 180 stars, we do get ourselves 3 legendary skill tomes. But the big one is, I think it's at 225 or 215. I'm sorry if I get the number wrong, but it's the 3rd one in the next phase. It's basically the last one before you get the Sacred Shard, is 3 5-star chickens. So I'm going to try and progress my way, getting as many stars as possible. This chapter here is just like, it feels like the hardest chapter in the whole Nightmare. So instead of using 2 champions and clearing it like that, I have to use a full team and just make sure no one's dead. And that at least gets me 2 stars. And so that is where I'm going to try and do it. I'm trying to get through the Nightmare to the point of getting those extra 5-star chickens, because that will absolutely change the game for me if I can get those 5-star chickens, because it will allow me to expedite the process of making my next 6-star, which will be the Lightsworn. Lightsworn will be my next 6-star because after him, then I'm going to have to do a Spirit Champion, which will be Morag. Then I'll have to do a Magic Champion, a Force Champion, and a Void Champion. So then my Force will be the Mausoleum Mage. My Void will be what's-her-face, Madam Serris. Spirit will obviously be Morag, and then I can just choose someone to do as the Magic Affinity, and that is all the 8 champions that you need to eventually 6-star for your Arbiter missions. It's a bit annoying, it's a bit convoluted if you haven't done it before, but that is what the process is going to be. So that's what I'm trying to do. I really want to push through this phase of the Arbiter missions and finish it all this week. Otherwise, you get held up, and you have to wait an entire week to get around to the Void section again. Besides that, I think everything else we should be fairly cruisy with doing. Fusing Relic Keeper is just a matter of leveling up the fusion champs that I've got saved, and that's something else I do in the champion vaults. If you look here, the master vault in a progressing account. This is different when you're an advanced account, but what I put in the master vault is anything that I think I might want to build, i.e. Armager, and then any fusion champion. That's what I put in the master one, and then the reserve vault is dude, I got some 1-stars in there when I was full on champion space, but this is just any other champion that I have pulled that I only have one of that I may look to build later. Probably won't build later, but you know, I'm just collecting. So that's how I use those. But that is the basic gist of where we are at. I did a few little gear shuffles on a couple of the characters. I got Lightsworn geared up a lot better now. The other thing was we did get our speed set. So we got our 1 piece of each slot of gear for the speed set, the 6-star epics. The chest ended up being a defense percent piece with 18% crit damage, so that's going to be used on Morag eventually. And then the gloves, if we go over here, and I don't think they're equipped on anyone, but if I go to 6-star epic, the gloves ended up being, God, dude, my bloody head's always in the way. Gloves ended up being crit rate with 18% defense. So those crit rate gloves and the defense chest are going to go straight onto Morag. And that's just going to be a solid build for her. We did get flat defense boots, and this helmet was kind of shit because it didn't have anything. If I go to equipped as well, actually, I can show you the other pieces because we actually rolled an all right weapon as well. You can see we got 17 speed on this weapon. The head had 21 crit rate, so I've got that on. Oh no, that wasn't that one. That's actually one I got it from a drop when I was doing one of the Dragons missions. We got another 16 speed here on the shield as well. So we actually did pretty good out of those pieces of gear. And that's the main update we've had. Once again, we need to get more accuracy on our Deacon, but, you know, that's where he's coasting at the moment. He does need a lot of work. But, you know, he's sitting at plus 137 speed on the Relentless, which ain't too bad for the current state of where the account's at. But that's everything we've been up to. We're just trying to do this mission where we could defeat champions in Arena. If I see an enemy team that has 4 weak champions and I can kill 3 quit, I will do that, and I will just farm my way through as many as I can. But unfortunately, I haven't seen any of those yet, so we're just like creeping our way through one by one. We are up into gold 5 now, so we have made our way up there, and now it's just a matter of 15-minute timer. You can see we're waiting 30 seconds, then we refresh again, then we go again, then we go again. But I'm not doing it to the point where I'm going to be like absolutely no-lifing this stuff. Like I said, I'm not going for like a new Arbiter record or anything like that on this account. I'm going for a more realistic type expectation of what someone could do without giving up their entire life to the game. But anyway, that is the update for the account. I'm going to wait 6 seconds so that we can check this refresh together, and maybe you guys will give me the luck that gets me that 4-week champion enemy, and it is not it. No, we ain't even beaten that single. Anyway, as always, guys, thanks for watching. Hope you have an awesome day, and I look forward to seeing you in the next one. Cheers.